Today we will do a project for which will have connectivity with the Django database, and it will work as a local library project, and it will give an overview of how you can connect with the Django admin panel, can fetch data from there, and create a simple local library website. Okay, so this is our VS Code, and as usual, we will first create a directory. So say I'm creating this directory, Django, say project 1, and then we need to enter into this directory. Okay, so I'm doing cd space Django project 1. Okay, now I'm inside this Django project directory. Now, as usual, we will create a virtual environment first, env, enter, and then we will also, this will take some time because it will be creating a virtual environment from in which we will be working. We have already discussed this in previous classes also, so I won't go into detail. Then we enter into this virtual directory, and then we activate the file there, activate dot bat, enter. Now we need to install Django there. So Python -m pip install Django. Okay, then okay, it has been installed. Now I'm creating uh, a project here, Django admin, using Django admin command, start project. Say we name this project as local library, local library, and then we enter the local library, cd local library. Okay. Now I want to create some application there. So I want to create a catalog application. Okay, so I need to create an app for that. So what I'm doing is Python manage.py, and if I look into the directory here, I could see that manage.py file is there. So yes, I can run this command, Python manage.py start app catalog. Okay, I enter. Okay, so now I can work on this catalog app. Then we need to register this catalog app. So what I'm doing is force space dot to open the instance for this particular file folder location. And then we need to go into the installed apps in the settings, right? In the local library, we have settings.py file, and there I need to go into the, okay, into this installed apps, and I need to register my catalog there. Okay, so we will just mention catalog. Press Control S to save this file. Okay, next, okay, we can work in this particular location as well. So I'm minimizing the previous file, maximizing this. Okay, so I have registered my catalog app. I have saved it as well. Now we need to add the URL to the URL mapper, that is to the URL of py under the local library. So under the local library, I have to create a we already have a us.py file, so we need to add a URL mapper there, right? So we have this path. We will be using include here. So I'm including this as we have done earlier as well, include. And then in this path, we have to mention for the catalog file, catalog app that we are creating. So I'm writing here catalog and forward slash and include. We need to include this, the URL for the same, and it will be used like this. Mhm. Okay, so this needs to be closed first, and then include catalog dot URLs. Okay, and yes, we can just save it now. Then now we need to create a new file under the catalog folder. and we need to create this file as we have to create a new file. We can use this right click and click new file, or we can just click here and create the file here, which we call as the urls.py file. So under this urls.py, we need to first import the path. So from Django dot urls import path, and then from dot import views, we need to import the views for the same, and then I have to create URL patterns. Patterns is equal to this square, and we can mention this path. We can mention this later on. We are saving this for now because otherwise it will be searching for it and it won't be finding anything. So we have mentioned it. Okay. Now we have to specify this catalog app as the main application and views to the urls.py under the local library. So we need to add the URL map to redirect this base URL to our application. So now we will be under this urls.py, which was under the local library. Okay, we can mention the path for redirecting this URL to the catalog only. So for that we are doing this path again, and here single quotes. Then we are using this redirect views. Okay, it's not using it directly because we have not included the library as well. So let's do this one. Django views dot generic import redirect view. Okay, then if I write it here, it will be auto completing as well. Redirect view dot as underscore view, and URL is equal to catalog, and we can also pass some, make it permanently true. Permanent is equal to true, and okay, two brackets are there, fine, fair enough. You can put a comma here so that if we add some other line, it won't show any error later on. So, so we have imported this redirect view, and then we have add the URL map to redirect the base URL to our application. Next, we need to add some lines to the URL.py under the catalog folder. So, okay, now we can use that view here. So under this, I can write path views dot index. We have done it earlier as well. I'm naming this as the index view. Name is equal to index. When we have been using home, we can use any name as we feel like. We have used home. We could have used catalog also. I'm using here index just for the clarity that you can use any name here. Then after creating this path here, we have to create a template folder and then create the index.html file as well. Okay, let's see how it is running for now. Run terminal, no terminal. Okay, so Python manage.py. Okay, we have not created any HTML file yet. Okay, so just see what kind of error we are getting. Okay, Python manager py. Okay, it is showing the error that catalog.views has no attribute index. Okay, and all these errors. So yes, it is not able to find that HTML file from where it can run this command. So what we can do nowadays, now we can under the catalog folder, we have to create a new folder called template, and under template folder we create the index.html file that we have been using here. Index.html file. Okay, and under this index.html file, we can creates any command, but for that we need to use this in the views also. So in the views.py we have Django.shortcut import render. We have to define this index about this index. So I'm using this define index request, because if whenever we are requesting for this index page, it will return render request comma index dot html. We have already done this in previous classes and discussed in lab also. So you can go through those again. Otherwise, okay, so I'm using the same code, nothing changed. Okay, now we don't get that error as well. If you look at this down terminal side, we don't have that error. So we can run this file now. Click. Okay, so template doesn't exist at catalog. Okay, I'm getting something like this. And I think it's templates. Yes. Okay. The name of the folder is not template, it's templates. So you have to name it templates. Okay. So please correct the name to templates. This folder name was templates. That's why we were getting that error. So if I refresh this now, okay, because we have not mentioned anything on that HTML file, so that's why uh, we are getting a blank screen. Now, next we want to create a combination of this with the database. Okay, we have worked under the URL file, under the views file. Now we want to create a database connection, and for that we, as per the MVT structure, we use this model.py file. So model.py file I'm using here, and let's first create a, a simple class genre model. Okay, so I already have the code there. I will also share it with you. Let's just run this part of the code first, and then we will move further. So, so it's as we are aware about that, one have to first import the models from the model class. Okay, so we have created the class model here. From this package, models is to be imported as well. And then I have used a name field here, which is having this corrective field, which is a data type, which we already discussed with under the documentation of Django. And I have given this help text here that this will be already given there for the user. And we have worked over this string self as well, which will return the name which of the objects. Instead of returning the objects, it will return the name of the objects. Okay. So this is the initial step we are doing for these database connected with the model. So now, but whenever we are working with this admin panel model thing, we need to migrate as well into our database. So here I'm doing manage.py make migrations. Script, okay, yes, make migrations, and then Python manage.py migrate, enter. Okay, so this will apply some migrations to our database. And since we have to deal with the admin panel, so I need to create a user as well. So I'm creating this Python manage.py create super user, click enter, and then it will ask for this username and password. So I'm giving the username as admin. Email address could be blank. Password you can choose as per your convenience, which you can remember. Anything simple since you are working on a project. So I'm just bypassing this check, and we have created the password as well. Now again we have to run this run server. Okay, and then clicking here, control click. And now we would like to go into this admin panel for now. Admin panel and writing admin and the password that we chose admin one, whatever password you chose, and then login. And okay, if I refresh this, okay, so we don't have any genres mentioned here. We should be having some genres mentioned here. Why is it so? Because we have not yet registered. Okay, we have not yet registered it under the admin.py. So going back to this file, under the admin.py, I have to register this site as well. Okay, so it's import admin, and then here I write from dot models import this genre, and under this I have to write admin dot site dot register genre. Okay, now I have to save this file, Control S, and if I refresh that page here, now I can see that under the catalog app, I'm getting this genre thing. Okay, so similarly, we can add on different forms. So under the genres, if I click on this add button, I will get this page. So we can add, it is creating a form by itself, and we can create multiple forms like this. The genre part is getting the message from this from here that we have to do this name. Okay, so this is being shown on the admin panel. This line is being shown on the admin panel that we just saw that under the genre we could, if we click on this genre and add something, we are getting this text box in which we can add different name of the genre content, and we are getting this using this models of pi that we created this particular model here. Okay, we are getting this from here. Now we can do some more modifications. This index.html file is blank now. We are getting nothing on this catalog homepage if we see here. Okay, so we can write some content there and can make it dynamic and fetch it uh, um, from our panel. Okay, we can create a dynamic content section here. We can add some placeholders, some template variable for the information. So we are just putting some HTML code here under this index.html. Here we have these HTML tags having head and body, and we have also linked some hyperlinks for the books and authors links. And here we have actually created some dynamic content section. We have declared it here. We have placeholders. We have these template variable for the information from the view that we want to include, and the variables are enclosed with these double brackets because they are the handlebars, and these variables are actually coming from the context variable which we'll be using in the views.py file. So if I just you can just go through this code, and under the body section we have actually use this div class, and we will also be adding some CSS here for some look and feel purpose. Okay, and then I'm saving this file. You need to save this file, and then if I refresh this catalog, and then I can see this content here. Okay, books, copies available, authors, and we have placeholders here. So we will be actually getting fetching this data from this server side. From the server side, we will be fetching this data, all data from there. Now, next, we can create some more under these models.py that we are using. For now, we have just used the genre thing. We can create some other models also, like we can have a book model, we can have some author model, and which will be like using some foreign key as well, and there will be some different text fields to fetch data into this, and many to many fields, and one to many fields as well. So, and we can use that code here. So, here under this under this file, we have that book model as well. Okay, book model foreign key, which has we have this book model, author model as well. So right now, first we are just saving this to see how it appears. It says Control C, and then we are pasting it here. So what we have done actually, we can save this as well. And here um, we have this book model, which uh, uh, which has model representing a book, but not this copy of the books. We have the author, and under this we have the class book, which is inheriting from the model class, model packages, and this we have this author here, which is using foreign key. Foreign key means if one thing is deleted, then the all its linked copies will also be deleted. So we will see it running on the site as well. Then we have used these different data type fields that we have studied already, and we have used many to many fields that for there could be many genres could have a genre could have many books available, okay, and similarly an author could have many books published by his name. So that is one to many, and then we have used these different fields, which we have used a unique book instance as well. Okay, here if we look at that, we had used a reverse function which allows retrieving. This reverse function allows retrieving the URL details from the us.py file through this name value which we have provided. So whatever classes we have created here are child of the model class. So we have this model class and all other classes are child of this model class. And we have created this book instance model as well, which is using this unique book instance. And we have for our and if one right and it will show maintenance on loan available. So these different type of structures, functions, methodology you can use to create a very well defined form as well. Okay, so we are saving this now. Okay, but it will still not be highlighted there, right? Let's see. Let's see. Let's run this admin site. And it's still not highlighted here because we have not actually yet registered it as well. We have not because we have not yet registered it on the admin panel. So we have to go back to this admin panel and we have admin site register genre there. So what we can do is we can create multiple copies here. Okay, of this we have book, we have author, uh, we have this book instance, we have this also book instance. So one of these we have the genre, then we have this book also. We have author, we have the book instance, and we need to mention all this here as well. Book, author, and then book instance. And then there's no error, so save it. And then if we refresh this page, okay, now we can see we have authors, we have book instance, we have books, we have genres. So until now had under the views.py file, we only had the content for this index.html on request it was showing this page, but now we have this different classes that we have created. So we have created views for them for the like book, author, book instance, and genre. So book numbers, okay, it will return the number of books, will return the count, and these instances, these are the double check that we use there. So it will return these content from the server side. Okay, so this we are using here. And then if we save it, then we have also registered everything. Okay, so we have used this code now under this views.py. We have mentioned for different instances the placeholders that we have used so far. And make sure to make migrations because we have used that book authors, and different uh, uh, kind of models for these server side as well. So we need to make migrations, otherwise it will be showing some error. Okay, so then we run the server, and then if we refresh this page, we will get something like this. So this is some dynamic content that is for now getting 0, 0, 0 books, 0 copies, books available, 0 because we have not yet entered any data out here. Okay, and so that's why it is showing 0 numbers. And we can also work on the CSS as we have done earlier as well. Under this local we have this catalog, and under this catalog you have to create a new folder named as static, and under this static folder you have to create a new folder. Just make the static folder first, and then under the static you have to create a new folder as, you can say name it anything, but we are using it catalog for now. I'm naming it catalog, and under this I'm creating a new file which is styles.css. You can put some any CSS code here, like I'm using this for now, and you can play with some more CSS code. So under this static folder I'm creating another new folder which is named as images, and I can paste some image there. And under this index.html, I will be, you need to have an image here as well. So I'm putting an image here. So here under this local library on our desktop, under the catalog, under this static folder, under the images, I have put this image one here. Okay, what one can do is we can use this in the index.html file as well. So if I call this index.html, I can put use this CSS here. Okay, so it will use this CSS that we have just mentioned in the styles to SSS file. So after applying the CSS, I'm saving everything, and then you can rerun the code, or you can just refresh the page to see, yes, the CSS is working now. Okay. Uh, and then actually to see how now we can see that books have zero copies, are zero books copies available, and authors have zero as well. So I'm going back to this admin site, and let's see if I add something in the genre here. Okay, and say I add fiction, or you can say science books. Let's see, let's go with science. Okay, I can save and add another. So I'm adding here, say fiction now. Okay, you can save it. So if I go back to this home page, and if I see this genre here, so yes, it is showing fiction and science. It is showing the self that we were expecting as well. Now under the authors, if I say write any author, say you are writing say Elvis, and you give any name, any last name, say or anything, you can add some date of birth and just randomly give some values and just save it. Okay, let's see that. Like consider is one author, so M comma Elvis is showing here in this particular panel as well. Now I'm writing adding some books here, so click on books and add some. So say I'm writing some books, C programming, and author, say I'm choosing M Elvis for now. Any summary you can write here, a good book, and you can give any of the ISN number. I'm randomly generating, writing some ISBN number. You can choose one of the genres that we use, and then click on save. Okay. Now maybe we can work on this book instance part. So it is generating some ID, some UUID, unique ID that we mentioned. Say C programming, say imprints are like, say we are writing second imprint or something, due date, say we are mentioning a due today. You can work with different like date and time, different calendar type of data type here as well. You can check that through the documentation side. And under this status, we have maintenance on level, available, reserved, unknown, maintenance. We can choose that. I'm choosing available for now, so saving it. Okay, so some book instance has been created. Now, if I refresh this page, you can see the values have been updated here, like one book copy one, copies available one, author one. So if I do any other changes, you can play with that. I create a new or author, say Robert, and I give anything there. Date is, I'm choosing any of these dates, save, and I am refreshing it. So authors are changed to two. So you can create multiple copies of the same book. You can, and they will be linked together. So you can now try this thing as well. So this is now being dynamically generated using the database that you have created.